And welcome back to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. We have on the line for our Southwestern Athletic Conference baseball talk, Coach Olin Parker. How you doing today, my man?
I'm good, Mike. I'm good. How about you?
Well, my Panthers had a wishy-washy weekend, literally speaking. Was not able to get any ball games in, a bit frustrating, but other than that, I'm okay. We got some tangled webs with the weekend that we had. So I guess we'll kind of get these things broken down, and we'll talk about that PV thing in just a little bit. You go ahead and give us an update of the weekend it was as far as the scores would go.
Alabama State played Mississippi Valley. Alabama State won 2 out of 3. Valley slipped up and got them a game, 8-7 final score. Old Jackson State, man, they treading water. Jackson State played Bethune and won 1 game and lost 2, but they slipping fastly. As you stated, Prairie View and Southern did not get a game in, but I got a call saying that they're going to play 2 games on Tuesday, April 11th, and Prairie View's going to travel to Southern, and then they're going to make the return trip on the scheduled date. They've lost the home games against Southern. And the last game, the 3rd game, they're going to play that if needed.
Man, that weighs extremely heavy with Prairie View losing the home games. Well, here's the frustrating part, or the puzzling part, I dare say. The games were originally scheduled for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And with the games being canceled due to weather, the only thing, because it did rain Thursday, it did rain a little bit on Friday, but not as much as Thursday. And so they had the games rescheduled for 3 p.m. Saturday and then 12 noon and 3 p.m. on Sunday. And they were not able to get these games in. And the only thing that I could assume, and we know what they say about the word assume, is that someone may have left a tarp off the field, because there's no way that if you have a tarp covering the field, even with all the rain that you had, that you couldn't get at least 2 games in over the weekend.
Right. That's the one with hope.
Wow. So now Prairie View loses home field advantage, which can end up being critical, because Southern 5-4, Prairie View at 7-2. This was a critical series, especially with the way the rest of the West unfolded this weekend. But I'll let you carry on with that. We'll probably come back to this.
Okay, so speaking of that, by Grambling losing 2 out of 3 to Texas Southern, Grambling's at 9-3 now. Texas Southern is holding at 7-2. They should happen to win that doubleheader against Southern on Tuesday. They'll be sitting pretty at 9-2.
Right.
Sitting at 7-5 right now. You got Southern still at 5-4. You got Alcorn at 3-8, and you got 1-10. You got Arkansas Pine Bluff at 3-8.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough right now. Oh wow.
Over on the east side, you got Alabama State cruising at a 10-2. You got Bethune-Cookman at 8-2. You got FAMU at 9-3. You got Jackson reeling in at 4-8. You got Alabama A&M 2-8, and you got Mississippi Valley 2-10. So the east side, there's a log jam at the top, and for the west side, you're pretty much going to see what happens on next weekend's going to loom big, because you could have Southern go. They go on a 5-game winning streak. They can be 10-4 and right in the mix. Same goes for Texas Southern. Sitting at 7-5, that's not bad right now. You know one thing. Grambling State at 9-3, and Prairie View, like I said, if they win 2, they're 9-2. They're knocking off each other. Somebody's gonna get some losses that could help Texas Southern and Southern.
Right, and especially with Texas Southern getting the 2 out of 3 against Prairie View. Now, they'll play later on, but by the time they meet up again, man, there's no telling what these standings are going to look like, which is exciting, I guess, if you're a SWAC baseball fan. but not in particular. In my case, Prairie View, it was so critical, uh, and how they dropped the ball on that. It still got me scratching my head. I'm not really sure, and if anyone should take the blame for it, because like I said, we don't know what caused the delay in the game, but being here in Prairie View, it was highly probable, as far as my thinking and assumption, that the games would have gotten played. And sources were saying that the field from outside looking in appeared to be playable.
Wow. I'm not in Texas right now, Mike, so I really can't expound a little bit more on it. But I just know the games didn't get played, and Southern spent their money on their road trip, so they're not at fault.
Right, right. Well, it's a wonder, that they could have cried wolf and forced some forfeits, but thank God that didn't happen. So they'll have to hash it out. So that being the case, they're playing on Tuesday, the April the 11th. Prairie is going to have to cancel their game against Houston Christian, and I'm assuming if Southern, I don't have their schedule right before me, they're going to have to cancel their Tuesday game in order to get these conference games in.
Right. This week they were scheduled to play Nickel State on Tuesday at home, and Tuesday at Nickel State and at home on Wednesday versus Nickel State. So I don't see. If I'm a coach at Southern, I'd probably cancel both of those games because you got a conference series coming right behind it.
Right, right. Well, did they project what the estimated game start would be on Tuesday?
Yes. It's going to be two double hitters. It's going to be a double hitter. First game at 2, second game at 6.
Wow. That's going to be very, very interesting, man. And just like, we talked about it earlier, in particular, what I would consider blue blood programs as far as baseball is concerned in the SWAC would be Jackson, Southern, Texas Southern. We're seeing life coming from Texas Southern. Still got a question mark about Southern because they've yet to, play at 5-4. But Jackson State is definitely the mystery piece right now at what they're actually having to work through and go through at 4-8. I just could not see that, knowing the history that Coach Omar has brought to Jackson State.
Man, I couldn't agree with you more. I've never seen Jackson State at the middle of the pack ever. You've always seen those guys at the top of the pack. Now, their overall record is 17-12, but they play a couple of NAIA D2 schools. They kind of help their record out, balance it out. I mean, they're not the only guys that does that. You look at Texas Southern, they're 21-12, but I know they played at least 10 games that are not D1 games.
Okay. Well, I do know for the record with Coach Rob in the past, he has not been afraid to play the big brand, the Power 5 brands, and I guess taking that whipping across the head, I guess he figured he's going to flip the script in 2023 and play some games to give him a higher percentage of winning so he can, I guess, look a little bit decent as you get deep into the season.
Well, that's just thinking of it, but it also hurts the conference because when they look at strength of schedule of guys in your conference, that takes away. If he ends up the season 30-15, that's not going to look good to the other guys. You just take Alabama State; they're at 22-11, and they haven't played an NAIA D2 school yet, so they're holding ground. But if somebody else wins the SWAC tournament, Alabama State wouldn't get that large bid, even if they win 30-35 games.
Yeah, that's the dilemma that we have when we're at the level that we're on when it comes to baseball. But nonetheless, Tigers are on the stride in the right part, I guess, when we talk about the conference part of things, and they'll let everything else balance itself out on the backside. Now, speaking of balancing things out, man, we been talking baseball throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and I think it's time to release a new feature that we want to have with our baseball talk with OP And you're going to reveal for us for the first time this season at least OP's top 10 as far as baseball programs. Are you ready to release the hounds, my man?
Coming at number 10, Coppin State. Number 9, Jackson State. Number 8, Maryland Eastern Shores. Number 7, Grambling State. Number 6, North Carolina A&T. Number 5, Texas Southern University. Number 4, Prairie View A&M Panthers. Number 3, FAMU. Number 2, Bethune-Cookman. And rounded out number 1, Alabama State.
All right, my man. Now, I got to ask you, is there a particular formula that you're basing your programs on? How are you coming up with your top 10?
Well, I'm looking at overall play. You got most of your MEAC schools are not playing MEAC ball. Now they're playing in the Northeast Conference. So I'm kind of looking at how they pair up against the opponents that they're playing. Most of them are like right in the middle, 5 and 4. So I'm just kind of looking at how they're playing and what they're playing. And the SWAC, I'm following a little closer. You know, Grambling may have been in forward had they not dropped 2 to Texas Southern. So I got to put Texas Southern up there, along with Prairie View being number 1 right now in the conference. That's how I end up 4.
Okay.
The top 3, they speak for themselves, I think. They've been the best teams in the conference right now.
Okay, so my interesting piece we just discussed a little while ago would be Jackson State making the poll.
Oh, yeah. Well, their overall record is 17 and 12, and nobody else in the SWAC has 11 wins, and I just couldn't put nobody ahead of them. Even though on the East, they're 4 and 8, they're right above Alabama and Mississippi Valley, and Texas Southern. Southern with 5 wins, Arkansas Pine Bluff with 3 wins, and Alcorn with 1 win. There's no way I could put them ahead of those guys.
Okay, sounds good, man. I'm looking forward to see if there are any changes on next week's poll with OP. Now, with all that being established, my man, give us an update of what's going on in Baton Rouge with your program.
Well, Mike, we had a tough weekend. We played Nunez College. We lost 2 out of 3. One was a walk-off. They walked us off 5-4. That game, they beat us 1-0. It was just a tough weekend, Mike. So this weekend we're off. We're letting the guys heal up a little bit. We're going to get back to practicing on Wednesday. And our next game will be on Monday against LSU Alexandria.
Okay. Well, good luck to that, my man. And as always, we thank you for your insight and your baseball knowledge. You know, we've dubbed you as our baseball guru here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, man.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Yes, sir. Any closing thoughts this week, my man?
Well, this is going to be crunch time for a lot of guys. You turn the corner on the last weekend of the first round. I'll get a chance to see Southern play a little bit on Tuesday, so I may have some better insights on things that I saw. But to all, like I said, my name is Olin Parker, better known as OP. I can be reached at olinparker65 at yahoo.com.
All right, he is OP. I'm the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys for joining in. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And always visit the website at obnradio.com. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.